got a spot on my vision board now. If I do things a certain way, one day I could be like him when I grow up. What a heart, what passion, what experience. He's done hundreds of millions of dollars in business in his career. He's helped hundreds of thousands of people better themselves. And his heart is pure, he's genuine. And that's what he's desired to do here. The fact that we get to work with him, I couldn't say enough, and it can't be understated. So I wanted to go ahead and introduce someone that I know you'll all love, and I promise that if you heed his words, you'll get where you want to go. So I'd like to bring Travis Martin to the stage if I can.
Probably one of the best leaders I have ever worked with. I mean, you can't go back for a second. You know, the MC rarely gets edified. Let me do some edification here. Literally, when I met this guy, immediately I was like, dude, he reminds me of my best friend, like that I've known him since childhood, to the point of where I know that we've been spirit brothers in the past and known each other other lives most likely. But dude, this guy's amazing. And also, the best thing you'll ever know about a company is if you want to know the culture of a company, look at the leadership. Leadership determines culture. And you're looking at a leader right here, and this is the culture we're going to get. So, man, appreciate your heart, appreciate what you do, appreciate what you're doing. So, thank you, Kevin. And this, guys, to say how excited I am to be celebrating this with all of these great people here behind us, getting to know these people. But more importantly, it really was down to just finally taking all the years of experience that I've had. I've had over 25 years and great experience meeting people all over the world. And meeting people like Dan Putnam and JC Martinez and Tommy and you know, Kevin and all the leaders that we're working with, that's the biggest blessing that this industry gives. It's the connections, it's the ability that we have to build teams, to lift each other up and to work in that capacity. And those are the things that excite me. Those are the things that really get me going. And when you put a company together, the funnest thing you can do is the creativity that comes with it. You know, like those that don't know the story, Dan called me back in February. Think about this for a second. You had an idea. Dan had an idea, and we had to make it tangible. Tonight, we're making that tangible. Tonight is that day, that opportunity where that phone call turned into a reality. And that's where we now get to participate in something that we know came from a good source and a good heart is going to be magical all over. So I am blessed to be here. Thank you so much for celebrating with us. Just as a reminder, from now until August 22nd, free signups, build your teams. It's a great product, a great opportunity to be here. So Kevin, thank you so much for bringing me on. I appreciate it. Woo!
So we're breezing through this. This is a launch. What do we do? What is a launch? How does this work? There's this aspect of like, here you are now. We're excited. We're telling stories. We're all here. There's action steps that are coming. It's not all fluff. There's so much here. I'm like shaking. The guy I'm bringing up next, man, how do I put this into words? I have to do it in another language. Este persona tengo un gran corazón era muy liderazgo. This guy, when I met him, he came up to me the first time I met him, and he gave me the most tender hug. He was so kind and welcoming. I'm like, I don't even know this guy. And I was like, man. And then I observed him for weeks as he outworks everybody. He's always doing thousands of things. He's probably like a COO and a CEO. He's doing all these different things, and he makes action things happen. He's constantly doing things. He's doing it in multiple languages. Simultaneously, he's like the engine running so many things. He's been wildly successful in this industry over 15 years. The success does nothing compared to who he is as a person and what he does every day and the way he lives his life. And gosh, he gets me fired up like nobody else. At his core, when you talk to him, he's so passionate, not about the money, not about the time, not about the opportunity, not about the product. He's so passionate about you making non-negotiable commitments with yourself to where you want to be better, because nothing lights him up more than watching people grow, and that is his heart. So I want to introduce JC Martinez. Yeah.
Thank you. Who's excited? All right, guys. So we're super excited, and I want to tell you why we're excited, because we're not only here to talk about a product. We're not here to talk about a system like any other company does. Me and Travis, we have been in these huge corporations talking to best CEOs with VP of sales, senior sales management, anyone that you can go ahead and imagine on. And the first thing that they come up to is that how can we go ahead and have a better retention, right, Rob? What can we go ahead and do to have more people in and more people engaged? And the first idea that they come to their mind, what is it? Oh, I need to have a better product. What is the best product in line? What is the best thing that we can go ahead and have them consume? Something that we can go ahead and have them consume. And that's one of the things that we say, like, why don't we don't go ahead and switch it a little bit? The moment that Dan told me about the vision of this company, that it was not only about a system, it was not only about a product, it was about the people. It was about how can we go ahead and make the people have a great impact, that it doesn't matter what company they go next, or it doesn't matter what is the next venture, they're going to be successful because they take it to the core. And this is one of the things that I really take to the core with AAO, because the 5 non-negotiables that we're bringing in is something that is going to make you successful anywhere you go. It's not just about a product. It's not just about a system. It's about you. The best product in this industry is you. And this is something that you're just going to duplicate and duplicate. And when Dan told me about the story that we're going to go ahead and do and everything that we're trying to project with you guys with AAO, it was just something that it blew my mind. I was like, okay, this is something that I'm really passionate about, because I'm not passionate about sales, about making everyone about numbers, because obviously when you're in sales, when you're a corporation, what is the first thing they do? Okay, what are your numbers? What is the next percentage that we're going to go ahead and do in sales? They don't talk about people. They don't talk about the reality of the things, who are moving this industry, which is people. And when we decided to create all these things with the 5 non-negotiables, and we actually start doing it ourselves from a long time ago, and we see the success, because obviously if you know each other, I mean, if you know ourselves and you see basically the things that we have come through, where we come from, drop out of college, I mean, we have the system against us, everything against us, people that say, hey, this is something that is not going to work, you have to do it this way. If you don't get a degree, you're not a lawyer, if you're not a doctor, then you're going to be successful. Well, we say welcome to that. We say welcome to AAO, and we're going to show you how to do it. So welcome to AAO, guys. We're going to go ahead and make it happen. Let's go.
Thank you all for being on this call. Thank you all for being here this far. Thank you for the things you've done in your lives and in your lives that have got you to this point right now. You have a decision in front of you. You can take this and do nothing with it. You can just relax. You can do nothing with this. You can be all excited today and go back to your life tomorrow. You can take what we've said. You can take this opportunity, this phenomenal product. I believe with my whole heart, everyone should take this every day. If you could make money selling juicers, I juice constantly at my house. When I gotta give you a story. I went on a hike with Dan Putnam about 4 months ago, 6 months ago or so, and we were talking. The motive of me, I was like, I wanted to know what makes him tick. Here's a guy that he's done all of the temporal things there are in this life that you could do. He's made the money. He got the time. He helped the people. He went to the places. He bought the things. That doesn't move him. I'm fascinated by his psychology. What moves him? What drives him? Why is a guy that doesn't have to do anything do so much? I constantly hear echoes and ripples of kindnesses that he's done, things that he's done to bless other people's lives. And I wonder, like, why is he so driven? And we had a long conversation, and it led me up to a series of events where we ended up sitting down to talk about this. And I just didn't get it. I thought it was about the product. It's not about the product. I thought it was about the business. It's not about the business. I thought maybe it was about the money. It wasn't about the money. And Dan, he just looked me in the eyes with Travis and said, you don't get it. This isn't about those things. This is about your time. And Dan said something so profound. He says, you have 3 resources in this life: your time, your money, and your health. And if you only have 2, you're broke. And I was like floored by that. And I thought, this opportunity is $50. They're going to pay you. You spend $50 going twice to a gas station just for snacks. $50 is a product that you need delivered to your house that blesses people's lives, that makes the body get what it needs from the most mineral-rich soil in the world. Just by sharing this with people, you're bettering their lives. Just by sharing the product, you're bettering their body. Just by sharing this, somebody that might be on their knees praying for some kind of opportunity has the ability to get control of their time. And they get to do the things that actually matter to us. Spend time with your children, the people you love, the things you enjoy. And when you really dive into Dan Putnam, as I have, he's so cool. He's so cool. He's kind, he's generous, he's wise, and he's so stoked to solve really complex things and simplify them. And you watch them work, and it's like a little boy that's like, yeah, yeah. And it gets me excited. And I'm like, what did I do to be so blessed to be right here, right now? I don't deserve this. You guys don't deserve this. We don't deserve this. And yet here it is, right here. It's ours if we choose to take it. Dan's going to give us the official launch. What can I say that hasn't been said about him? I'm just going to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the Dan Putner!
Thanks, everybody. I know it's been quite a bit of information, and a lot of people have been on several of our calls. So I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail about the entire program. I am going to go into some, I think enough for somebody who's maybe hearing about this for the first time. We are going to explain exactly what's next. Again, this is the launch day, but it's really the pre-launch where we're really moving it to the next level. We have the product, so the product's been in for several weeks. We have the website built. We have the back office done. We're pretty much ready. So what we're going to really be focusing on is what this next 14 days can mean for you. So we're ready to go, but we're setting this up specifically for you. And before I really get into this, I want to introduce one more person that we've recently brought onto the team. And this is just when all the stars align and when things go right, things just start to line up. So I had an idea with another friend of mine that we've been talking about literally for 20 years. I've been very passionate about startups and funding companies and helping get things going and trying to figure out how to solve the problem and create the best duplication and retention model ever created in the history of network marketing or the home-based business industry, so we can help the most people. Because as a company or as independent distributors or influencers, as we call them, really the goal is the same. We want to duplicate and we retain. That's how you create leverage. That's how you control your life. And I started to think, what can we do to help more people? And it really was about onboarding and about these different things. And I got a call on, I believe I got a call, it was just Wednesday. So a couple days ago. And the gentleman that called me, I answered the phone and he says, boy, you're having a great day today. And I said, that's true. It is a great day. So, what's going on? And he says, I need to introduce you to somebody. We would like to come up to Utah, or could you come down here? And this was down in Texas. And I said, well, I can come down there tomorrow. I need to be back, by Friday. And again, we're launching this thing here today, which is Monday. So this is just a few days ago when this all happened. But the person I'm going to introduce you to, one of the things that we've been talking about, our entire goal is to teach you exactly how to build this business. Every single thing that you need to be successful. Everything that I've learned from the last almost 30 years. I got started in February of 1993. So we're going on 29 and a half years that I've been doing this my entire adult life. And I've really tried to break down what is the formula for duplication? What exactly do you need to do to retain the most people possible? And a lot of it breaks down to just training and this consistency and these 5 non-negotiables and just kind of putting some things together. But one of the things that's so important to us is to level every single person up in their life. That is much more important to us than just selling a product. Just like JC said, like Travis has said, and even like Kevin, everybody's kind of going into the same thing. If you're just looking at life as a consumer, there's a lot of things that you can consume. There's a lot of things that you can purchase. But again, that's not what this is about. This is about giving people complete control of their time so that you can decide what you want to do. You can decide how you want to do it. Allow you to create leverage. Leverage is what creates residual income, which is what gives you the control of your time. And at the same time, putting your health first, not having it take a back seat and worrying about everything else. And so one of the things that I really wanted to do is I've seen some organizations that I've just really admired. Since probably about 1994, 1995, one thing that I've literally done is study success. I've been a student of success. If I see somebody that's successful, whether it's in network marketing, whether it's in any type of a business, I want to find out exactly what they did. And some of the most successful companies that I've ever seen in network marketing had put together a training program. and certain types of bonuses and ways that they pay people that allow people to make absolutely incredible money. Most of the seven-figure monthly incomes are all coming from the same type of company, the same type of setup. And so we've been literally trying to put this together, working on it, and just Wednesday of last week, the stars aligned and we was able to connect with just absolute 100% the perfect partner to take this to the next level. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Marty Hale. Marty, why don't you come up here really quick? So before I turn it over to Marty, just for a couple minutes, I want to explain a little bit about this gentleman. And he's, again, but for a long time, he's been everything from a distributor to a CEO to all different ranges. Some of the things that I just thought were absolutely incredible when I was meeting him. Some of the things that he did is he put together, as chief strategy officer for the Trump network, he put together their entire training program. And specifically, Donald Trump and Marty were the ones that did all of the training. He put together 5 guidebooks, put everything together, did over $100 million in sales in the first year. I think he did first weekend, 28 million in sales, something like that. He also worked in business with Bill Fields, the former CEO, just recently passed away a few years ago, of Walmart. Again, who's heard of Walmart, one of the most successful businesses in the history of the world. And somebody, I think you were saying he's the 4th employee of Walmart. And so we watched that, corporation just grow up. And he was able to work with him and study under him. And then some of the most successful companies, these are companies that I studied and tried to figure out what did they do. Like a company, Viridian, going from a couple $100 million in sales, which is a massive company. And they brought Marty on to do exactly what we're doing, to train their field, to train their distributors, to put some programs together. And in 2 years, went from around 200 million to well over $1 billion. And I think they sold the company for billions of dollars. And other companies going corporate and making the decision saying, hey, I think I want to be in the field. I think I want to get in the fun and get in the game here, and taking a company, again, to hundreds of millions of dollars in sales in a couple of years and becoming one of the top performing distributors and helping put together the entire compensation plan, the training program. And so, again, he's just going to take a couple minutes and talk a little bit about the coding bonus program that we're bringing. That's going to allow people to make money that you almost can't even really fathom until you truly understand it. And then a training program that we're putting together. See if you can. This is kind of it's kind of like that deja vu moment. We were in the field with Active Greens here, and we're doing a video with one of the people at the plant. And there was a fly that was just like in our face and mosquitoes the entire time. And we're like, oh, well, we're going to do this indoors, so we're not going to have any flies here. And this fly has just been bothering all of us this entire time. So it's just how natural this product is. The product's here, they're trying to get it. So anyways, Marty, just tell them a little bit about, your background and the training you provide and why that's so important to level people up and taking the next level, and why that's been the secret to building these billion-dollar companies after billion-dollar companies. And I'm going to explain something that we put a little bit of a twist on it here. So I'll step out of the way so that you can just take a couple minutes. But again, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I just met this guy less than a week ago. So, and I feel like there's almost nobody that I can think of that I feel like I can learn so much from him. Every time he's talking, I'm just trying to listen and say, how can we do this? And I didn't even say a quarter of the things that they've done. One of the largest influencer programs ever, helping somebody that everybody knows with Ignite, being co-founder and CEO of that company with Dan Bilzerian, and bringing on, 40 million people with his social media and 100,000 influencers and just doing hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. So again, this is really what we're doing to take this company to levels that we haven't even, really pictured in our mind. And now, not only is it pictured, it's as clear as can be where we're going to take this company. So go ahead, Mark.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Dan. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, first of all, tell Dan, I feel so blessed and so humbled to be here. I really do. it really did, normally it takes me a while to make a decision to make a move like this. And it didn't take me but a couple of days. And it was really because of you, quite frankly, just because of you. And now that I've gotten here, I've been able to see the rest of the team. And you know what they say, we're all who we surround ourselves with, right? The 5 people that we surround ourselves with, that's who we become. And I see who Dan is surrounded with, and I want to be surrounded by these guys. I mean, I love them to death. I've only known some of them for 24 hours, and I feel like that we were childhood friends. But let me get to it real quickly. I wish I could take credit for all those great things that Dan said about me. I know I'm going to have to pay him something later to continue to believe those things. But, no different than yourself. I was surrounding myself with mentors, right? I mean, just like I just said, we are who we surround ourselves with. And I just happen to be lucky to one of those to be the president of the United States, one to be the CEO of Walmart, and one to be the co-founder of the fastest growing network marketing company in the history, Excel Communications, for those of you that know, Steve Smith. And he was, I'll be brief, but he was my best friend for the last many, many years before he passed away. We owned 4 different companies together. We traveled the world together, and he was the creator, the author of the Coded Bonus. His name's Steve Smith. You can Google him. There was a book written about it called The Excel Phenomenon. Did 1.4 billion in 5 years, created more millionaires than any network marketing company that's ever been in existence, including Amway, Mary Kay and Avon, and all the big boys. And he did that in 5 years. And so, that's who taught me the Coding Bonus. I was 21 years old as a representative, got involved, was fortunate to make a couple $1 million in my early 20s, and it changed my life forever. I wasn't brought up with money, but I learned a lot of important lessons. And he used to say, all these people between Paul Orbison and Lane Winsett and Chuck Hoover and Steve, all these people were making $1 million to $2 to $3 million a month in residual income in Excel Communications. And he used to always say, if you've never made $1 million a month, you got to try it. It's a whole lot of fun. And I would say, if you don't know how to spend it, call me, because I can show you how to do that. But and we did that, believe me or not. But you're going to see some just amazing things that the code can do for you that no other compensation plan can do. It really allows anyone. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black, red, brown. It doesn't matter whether you're tall, short, skinny, fat. It doesn't matter. I mean, a bald guy like me, anybody can do this thing and be exceedingly successful. And so, the other guy, of course, Trump, said something to me. We sat at the boardroom in New York at the Trump Tower. And he he's like 10 feet tall, and his wingspan, is like 20 feet long. And he literally opens his arms like this and almost the length of the table and says, when we find a way to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time through the path of least resistance, we'll discover the difference between just another opportunity and true success. And I'm telling you, I think that's what we found with Against All Odds, is the way to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time through the path of least resistance. And so I am fired up. I am jacked up. I am thrilled. I am excited to be here. I can't wait to watch you guys train each other and just totally exponentially grow your income. I mean, if I gave you an example right now, none of you guys would sleep tonight. I mean, I could tell you, I'll tell you real quickly. Can I take like 30 seconds? I was 21 years old, literally pumping my brakes to get my truck to stop, filling the radiator up with water every few days because it had a crack. I didn't have the money to fix it. I had auto windows, but they didn't work, and I live in Texas, so you can imagine my AC was out. I was driving down the road, opening my door back and forth to stay cool. I'd go to opportunity meetings with an ice towel around my neck so that I would, not die on the way there in this microwave oven. I was driving to the meeting, and I went, my first week, I made $1,300. In network marketing, they paid every week, and then the residual was monthly. $1,300. That was like all the money in the world to me. I was 21 years old, completely broke. Well, the next week, I got another check for $5,400. Guys, I had never made $5,400, right? I mean, it was like, wait, I think they screwed up, but I wasn't about to tell them. So I cashed the check, went and, did what I did. The following week was $7,300, and the next week broke $13,000. Well, it was actually $12,997 because there was a $3 check charge back then. And that changed my life. The speed that which I can make real money, not just part-time, but serious money. It changed my life. It changed my philosophy, and I became a huge believer in network marketing. And that's what this can do for you. The coded bonus, the training program, those two, you're not going to have questions. It's not some lectureship. It's not a speaker that stands in the front of the room lecturing you. It is full-blown interactive training. Every step of the training, you will train up to 10 times before you're done with that training. What I mean by that is I want to be training you. You're going to be training me. You're going to be training each other live over and over and over and over so that you become a professional network marketer. I'm grateful to be here. I'm excited to be here. I want to thank you, Dan. Thank all the partners and founders. Thank all you guys as well for being here. And man, I will see you guys at the top.
Thanks so much, Marty. And again, we couldn't be more excited about what's coming together here. And just so that people know what's happening starting right now, we've actually just barely turned on the websites. The domain is www.aaoww.com/a username. Now, we've already entered in several hundred people last night and throughout today, so the first couple lines of the company. If you have not been entered in, if you've been entered in, you should have already received an email with your username, your login. If you have any questions, get back to the person who is your sponsor. They can help you get started. But people that are hearing about this maybe for the first time, what's going to be going on is you have the opportunity between now, August 8th, and August 22nd, so the next 14 days, that you can build your business for free. What we're going to be doing as a corporate team is we're going to be doing nightly opportunity webinars. So every single night from tomorrow until the 22nd, we'll be doing a live webinar. We're also going to work with Marty to do 2 trainings. Maybe a little bit more, but at least once per week on the coding bonus, and then also what we call the trainer. So where you get trained and then they actually train you how to train others. And here's what's even better than that. You get paid for doing that. So you get paid for anybody you train, whether they're in your downline, they could be in your upline, crossline, it doesn't matter. If you become a certified trainer and it's something that you're passionate about and want to do, you can get paid to train other people. These are options. So again, there are no sign-up fees to join Against All Odds. Even once we launch on the 22nd, you'll have the option to get started with one bag for $49.95. That's going to max out the entire 3x10 matrix, 10 generations of matching bonuses. We are going to be releasing, hopefully we'll have it out tomorrow, a short compensation plan training focused just on the 3x matrix and the customer plan, and then also on the 10 generations of matching bonuses. But really what we're doing here is we're putting everything together so that people can succeed. Everything that we've done over the last 20 to 30 years, we've basically taken the best of the best. One of my favorite sayings, I say it all the time, I win or I learn. There's a lot of times that over the last 30 years, it's been learning experiences. I've also had some wins. And I can guarantee you, I learned to become very good at things that didn't work well before I figured out anything that did work. But here's what I can assure every single person who decides to go with AAO. I do know exactly how to build a home-based business, no question. I feel so confident. In fact, I know 0 people in 30 years that have followed my system and do exactly what we say to do. And these are things that typically are no more than 30 minutes to an hour per day. I know 0 people that have followed it for 2 years that didn't make at least a 6 or 7 figure income. 0. Obviously, there's a lot of people that didn't make a 6 or 7 figure income, but they didn't follow the absolute basics. If you've been one that's been wanting to know the exact recipe, if you've been wanting to know the exact road to run on, that's what we're going to provide. And it's not the only way to build. It's not the only thing that works, but here's the power that I know for a fact. It works. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting by some personal development. There's some things that I had to learn before I could become successful in the industry. When I first got started, I had no clue what it was. I didn't know how it worked. I thought my goal was to bring somebody into the business, to sponsor them, to make a sell. And I did that. And then I thought, okay, fantastic. That's awesome. Now I want to do it again. And I did it again. And I want to do it again and again and again. And it took a long time before I realized that's not what this business is. This business is about duplication. This business is about retention. This business is about leveling people up. I had to level myself up before I could really understand that. I had to realize that the only way I can create leverage is by teaching other people this process and motivating them and helping them every step along the way and letting them know that you're not on your own. And it's gonna seem difficult at times. It's gonna be seen like it's the easiest thing in the world sometimes. But there's the whole key here. And I used to think, and I've heard it so many times, that there was a part of a book that said consistency, the new currency. And I used to say, consistency is the key to success. And then I went a little bit deeper on that, and I thought about it. I said, that's not true at all. Most people are extremely consistent. They're just consistently doing the wrong things. We many times are our own worst enemy. We're the ones that are getting in our own way. We're the main thing that's holding us back. There's so much opportunity, not just in the United States, there's so much opportunity in the world that there really is no excuse to not be successful. And I will agree with a lot of people. Sometimes the odds are stacked against you. Sometimes it's going to seem very difficult, and that's where we come in. That's what this is all about. Again, it's against all odds. And we are here to provide a vehicle for all of those that are wanting change to happen in your life. And we know that there's literally billions of them. And we know that the only way you can change is through opportunity. You can't just snap your fingers and something happens. Opportunity has to be present to make change happen. And so this is the opportunity that I believe most people have been waiting for. This is a single product, single focus. And we're always going to be a single product. Just like we have the 5 non-negotiables and create a non-negotiable contract with yourself, as a company, we've created a non-negotiable contract with you, that we're going to be a single product. And it's a very powerful product. And we're trying to simplify the entire nutrition game and saying, if you're just going to take one thing, this should be it. In fact, this is a big part. This should be a non-negotiable for everybody who gets started, but you drink it every single day. And the people that you know, love, and care about, you tell them about. And again, we've done a product overview. That's not tonight. Tonight's the launch. Tonight's something that we're super excited about. We're going to go through the compensation plan in detail. We're going to have some trainings, but that's not tonight. I just want everybody to know that the non-negotiables to level yourself up, to consistently do things in 5 areas of your life. Something in nutrition. Again, we got to put health first, because just like Kevin said, those 3 things that we control, probably the 3 most important things as us as human beings, is our time. Obviously, we have to have money to survive, so money would be in there, our wealth, and then our health. And without any of those, life is not as good as it can be. And so what we're going to do is we're showing people how to take control of those 3 things. So the first non-negotiable is something for your health, and start where you're at, and then you can level it up. I'm not saying you create this non-negotiable that you never change. You want to always level it up and improve it. Second thing is physical activity. We want people to add more life to the years. We want people to add more movement. We want people to, be able to do things in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. And then we go into personal development. You always got to be learning. The way that I built the business is in 1993, 1995, 1998, 2000, 2002, 2005, 2010, 15, 20, 22. There's been significant changes in how that's happened. So you always have to be developing yourself and working on some things. You should be doing something to improve that financial state. And that can just be your non-negotiable, can literally be just this business and following the exact system that we put together. And then accountability, to make sure that you stick to it. And these are 5 things that we feel that if you create your own contract for you, it's individual, it will change your life. And then you have a vehicle, you have an opportunity with all the training with people that have done billions of dollars in sales, people that have paid out billions of dollars in commissions, built companies all over the world, some of the fastest growing companies in the history of network marketing and in business. People, parts of our corporate team have been involved in that. And then, as you just met, Marty, I mean, coming to companies and helping take them to $1 billion. I've done okay at getting companies to, maybe 30, 50 million, even 100 million plus. And sometimes even grow from there. But I feel the thing that's really held us back from going to $1 billion and doing the best that we possibly can is these training programs and a few changes in the compensation. And now we have it all. It's all here right for you. And I want to urge every single person, don't let this pass you by. Because what can happen in the next 14 days if you really go all in? And again, what I'm going to explain is definitely against all odds, but somebody might take on the challenge. And here's what I'll assure you. It won't happen if you don't think it's possible. And so here's what I challenge every single person that's hearing about this. Lock in your free spot. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain. Participate in these nightly calls. Again, it's going to be about a half hour to 45 minutes a night of your life. Put some effort in, because what can happen in the next 2 weeks can just completely change your world. Try and find 3 people within your first day or so. I would make that to try and find 3 people that are going to lock in a position for free and get positioned to go against all odds and make some things happen. If you duplicated that process before the 22nd, you'd have a 3x10 matrix completely full, obviously of free people. But even if you got 1% of them to upgrade, you would have thousands of dollars. If you got 10% of them to upgrade, you'd already get a significant 6-figure income. So think about it. This is your chance. This is the shot that you've been looking for. The people, this is the very, very beginning of a company, and a compensation plan that we all work together as a team, and a company that's going to provide all of the training, all of the resources, everything that you need for every single person. Everybody's going to know the story. Everybody's going to have the opportunity to be trained by some of the best trainers and then become some of the best trainers. And that's why we feel we're going to take this company to the top. And before we do it, we want to do a toast. So again, we have just kind of a house meeting here in Utah. So I want to have Marty and Kevin and JC and Travis come up. Guess we need to know which ones are what. Which ones are what?
This one's this way.
Oh, oh. Okay. So I'll go ahead and let's go with Travis. He seems like he has the best toasting available.
You know, I'd have to say this. I hope, I'm sure you did. Like, if you felt it tonight, then you know, what I've always gave is when you feel something, you know it, right? That's how you know what you feel, right? And this is such really a blessing for all of us to be sharing this experience with you, as we talked about that. I shared that with you earlier. Anyway, let's just say this. Guys, to a contract with all of you that we're going to keep our promises to each other. We're going to push you on the 5 non-negotiables. If you're serious, if you're willing to duplicate and you want to be successful, this is the moment that day happens, and we're here dedicated every day of our lives to make sure that happens for us and for you, and together we build something amazing. So with that, let's toast in AAO. Hey! Cheers. Cheers.
Hey,
Thank you all so much for being a part, for tuning in. Now, time promotes you or exposes you. Ready, set, go.